I'm excited today. Not only am I making this video in my garage, Peter's garage, but I'm about to show you our new auditing, inspection, evaluation system that's real time, where you can use a tablet, like an Android tablet for $100 or $200, or an iPad, and you can perform audits or inspections, such as maintenance inspections, internal audits, supplier audits, and audits in the field. Construction audits, where you can tether your tablet to your phone if need be. Why it's real time is as you're performing the audit, as you're taking pictures, objective evidence, you are uploading it instantly so that people who are interested in the audit can follow along with the audit and they can see the results as they come in. So let's take a moment and talk about auditing and the challenges that go with that. Number one, an auditor has to collect objective evidence during an audit. And that's done in a variety of ways, through interviews and then taking notes. And of course, often it's nice to have pictures, especially if we're doing internal audits, our own audits, pictures are allowed. If you're doing a supplier audit, you'd have to have their permission to take pictures, but they may give you permissions for certain things. And then we got to go back and complete our audit report. And then we have to issue out any corrective actions or nonconformities, whichever way you want to call it, right? Okay. This is what's new for CIS. Number one, once we do the audit on our tablet, as we go through the audit, we can issue the actions, take the pictures, it correlates and puts together the audit pictures and actions with each question, sends out the emails automatically while the audit is in process. So by the time we finish our audit, we're done. The action items are gone. The audit report can be viewed. In fact, the audit report and the pictures and the information collected can be viewed at the head office or by any interested parties who have access to the auditing system in real time. In real time. So as you're taking pictures in your safety audit, if there's somebody in safety that's interested in that information, they can monitor the audit as it's going. So let's get on with auditing Peter's garage, a quick safety walkthrough, okay? And we're going to see on the tablet how easy this really is. So let's say I go to my audit planning and I can see my audit here. So this is my warehouse, Peter's garage. Okay, so what I'm going to do is start the audit. Okay, so I scroll down to my first question. So I can do it this way, or I could do it this way if I like. It's up to you, whichever way you want to do it. Are all exits and entrances marked and lighted? Is there emergency lighting if power fails? Okay. So the first thing I want to do is I don't have to write. And of course you can get tablets that write, convert to text, and then you can go back to the office and copy and paste and make the corrections, but not with CIS. We just touch here and we touch the microphone. There are 3 exits in Peter's garage. First is the garage door that has an exit sign. Second is the exit into the hallway. And third is a direct exit outside. Now, I'm going to go and take a picture of these exits and click upload a document. And I choose my file. And I choose my camera. And I take a picture. And I accept it. And now this is in CIS. And I continue with my audit. Are all telephone emergency contact numbers posted? Fire, police, paramedics. Well, I have one here. So I'm going to go. Yes, they have an emergency numbers that includes emergency, dial 911, plus fire, police, hospital, and the building owner's cell phone number. And I will upload a picture. Choose my file, camera, yeah, and accept it, save the record, okay, and shut this down. And then I'll go to the next one. Have the fire extinguishers been inspected? Uh-oh, I don't have a fire extinguisher. So this is a nonconformity and it's a action item or opportunity for improvement or corrective action. So, no, there are no fire extinguishers in the facility. There should be at least one in the garage, and it should be of the proper type, and it should be inspected. So, what I'm going to do from the audit is create the audit action. So what is this going to do is it's going to bring me to our action database. And as you can see, it's already chosen the audit, Peter's Garage. The action type I can choose. So in this is going to be a corrective action. And I'm going to assign it to Charlie Brown. Okay? And we usually have a due date. So the due date, I'm going to put, we need this done by the 26th of this month. I'll scroll to the bottom and I'll click save. Now here what happens, it brings us right back to where we were and we can continue the audit. Now, what has happened? The action item is being listed. The email has been sent to Charlie Brown, a copy to the auditor. It's being put on Charlie Brown's to-do list and it's also on the calendar. When we go to the office, we are going to see all of this, and anybody who's looking at this audit now will also see these action items. So I get to the end of my audit. Now what's interesting also is I could add a new question. For example, I could say, well, you know, there's a speaker assembly over there. Are all the parts neat or whatever? So I could add a question for this audit, even though it wasn't part of the original questionnaire. I could add as many questions as I want. So here, review the speaker assembly process. And then I can save this question. And then I'm going to go over to my speaker assembly process. Speaker assembly process in order, workbench clean, proper lighting, all parts identified, acceptable. The audit was successful. The area was clean. One nonconformity action was issued for missing a fire extinguisher. And then I click actions required, and then I close this date. I put it as of this date, and then I just go and update. This audit is complete. Okay, so let's take a look at CIS on our desktop. I mean, of course, you could look at it the same way in your tablet. Here is our audit report of all the actions from all the different types of audits. So this is our go-to report. This will show us all the outstanding actions from internal audits, safety walkthroughs, cleanliness walkthroughs, HACCP, supplier audits. They would all be here. And in order to simplify it, we could sort by the audit process, the audit owner, or the audit number, or even the categories, and say, let's show all opportunities for improvement or all corrective actions. And once we've got what we want, we can then click download to CSV file if we want to share that information with other people. Now here, for example, is the list. There are no fire extinguishers. That's the action report that we issued in the audit 2 minutes ago. And as that was issued, that would appear here instantly. So anyone tracking the audit, during the audit, would see these actions appear as the audit was happening. If we go to the audit and planning stage, this would be the audits that have not been completed. So if we want reports on audits that are completed, we would show completed audits. Now here is the audit we had, Peter's Garage. Now here we can show all the questions and uploaded files. And of course, you could upload multiple pictures or multiple files for each question. Here, are the questions that we went through during the audit and the files that we uploaded. And of course, we can click on it and it'll enlarge the file so that we can see it clearly. So this is all the questions, all the answers, and all the objective evidence that we can view. And as I had mentioned earlier, this will appear during the audit. So as the audit's going, that populates automatically. We can then print the audit action report. So if we do that, this would print out any actions that came out of that audit. So here we'd have the audit action report, and we could print this out at any time. So as the owners of the actions are working on them and determining the root cause, it should populate here until it's finished. And then we can also print the audit report. So if we click and print the audit report, this would be the summary of the audit. The audit summary would be here, all the information, who attended, the date, time, start, finish, and everything else. And then we'd have here each of the questions with the answers. Now you'll notice in this particular audit report, that's for printing out, so it doesn't have the pictures. But as you remember, we can look at the pictures at any time. And then of course we can also view audit actions that came from this. And that would bring us to our audit actions and list all the audit actions. And this is where the owner of the action would go in and complete either the 5 whys, enter the root cause, upload a fishbone diagram. And what's interesting here is once the actions are completed, then CIS sends an email to the auditor so the auditor can go back and verify the actions and close out those actions. Okay, so that's a summary of the CIS. Now, as I had mentioned earlier, we have the calendar. So the calendar would automatically populate with audits, audit dates, and audit actions. As the actions are implemented and closed, they come off the calendar. We also have a to-do list. Now you'll notice I don't have anything on my to-do list here, but if I'm going to log out here and log in as Charlie Brown. So when Charlie Brown logs in, he has his to-do list here. And when he clicks on it, it would have that audit action that we assigned him. And if he clicks on it, it would bring him right to the form so he can work on that action. Finally, I'm logged in as a supplier. So when suppliers during a supplier audit, those actions are listed automatically in real time the same way, and the emails go to the suppliers. When a supplier logs in, they will see their audit actions. And here they would be able to not change any information, but they could fill in the 5 whys, the root cause, and the date implemented. So they can only fill in information and have access to their audits. Now, I'm going to log out and log back in as a auditor to show you the final thing is about planning audits. So when audits are planned, you can select department or a supplier audit, but most importantly, you can have one-time, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and even if you choose daily, it could be customized for every second day. So if I choose, for example, daily, I can choose Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Now what happens is we can set an end date for 3 years or 2 years from now, and CIS will create the next audit that's due, and that's what would be displayed when we go here. So we have 2 audits that are due. Now, when an audit is repetitive, such as every day, then or every week or every year, when this audit is completed, in other words, once the audit is completed and the date has been filled in, CIS would then plan the next audit, and it would appear on this list, and it would CIS would send out emails, and it would be on the calendar and so on everybody's to-do list. So that's a summary of our internal audit process. So it completely automatic, completely real time, and can be done so much more effectively than any other auditing system that I know of. This is an update, July 1st, 2023. We've made a few updated features in our auditing. Number 1, we rearranged the menu systems to be in line with our complete CIS system. And we've added a new report and the ability, if you like, to add scoring to each audit or inspection question. So for example, in the audit planning, when you go and do an audit, for each question, you can now add a score. Some people like this, some people do not like this. Some people want to have a scoring system between 1 and 5 or 1 and 100 and promote a healthy competition between processes and departments, and a way to have a numerical measurement of each audit. Other people don't like scoring, and that's perfectly okay. You just don't have to use that feature. And then we've also got a new summary report, whether you use the scoring or not. It's a nice report. It's basically all the audits and the summary of each audit and whether actions were assigned for the audit. And if you are using the score, you will have your scoring here. So these are the new features added July 1st, 2023.
Contact us now at www.tqms.com.